but we've been on all of these life adventures together, and it's been really special. So Jaimee, I love you, and I'm honored to be your sister. And it's been really cool, it's been very cool to meet your family, both people from Michigan and from Brazil, and to get to know them. And it's just very clear that your parents raised you so wonderfully, because you are wonderful. So I love you. Emerson, there are so many things I could say about you. So many good things. If you want to get to know your new brother-in-law really, really well when you first get married, you know what you should do? You should move in together. Which is exactly what we did. Cal and I got married, 5 years ago? And then 2 weeks after we got married, you know who moved in? Emerson. And it's funny because when Cal floated the idea to me, I was like, oh, well that's one thing we could do, is move in with your brother, who's 10 years younger than us. And I remember saying something to my parents about it, and my mom and dad, who I'm very close with, were both like, oh, well, that's a choice, definitely. But the thing is we lived together for how many years? 3 years? 3.5 years we lived together, all through when you were at Grand Valley. It was some of the best times. Like, so fun. Especially, I think, for me, it was really special to watch you and Cal grow this deep friendship. I am close with my siblings, but there's something about the Mills siblings. You guys have this bond and this relationship that I have never seen in any other family. You guys are best friends. And especially watching you and Cal together, it has just been so special. And in fact, many times I have said to myself, man, what is it? I am the third wheel in my own life. But you know what? There's no one I'd rather be the third wheel to than Cal and Emerson. My favorite Emerson story, Cal and I were out of town. Oftentimes, actually, the three of us were home together doing many different things. But there was this time where Cal and I were out of town. We were up, I think, in Traverse City with friends. And at 2 a.m. or something crazy, Cal gets this call. We are in bed, we are dead asleep. Cal gets a call from Emerson. And Emerson says, and Cal answers the phone, because in case you're wondering, Cal always answers for Emerson. And Emerson always answers for Cal. Okay? Cal answers the phone at 2 a.m. and Cal says, what's going on? And Emerson says, I think someone's in the house. Someone is in the house. And Cal says, okay, well, we're in Traverse City. I think you should call 911 perhaps. And we hang up the phone, and you wake me up and say, I think someone's in the house. Someone has invaded the home. Emerson is there by himself. So we are now both awake. We are like, what's happening? Where is Emerson? Is he safe? We feel very responsible for him. He's very important to us. We get a call later on from Emerson who says to us something along the lines of, I called the police. Hey guys, I have called the police, and it was all a misunderstanding. But later, what we came to find out is that Emerson had gone to bed. He was snuggled in his bed in our very small house, and he heard voices in the living room. And he said, someone has broken into the home. I must get out. And so what did you do?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, it's me again.
Let me just back it up a bit. I was enjoying a nice, pleasant evening to myself, listening to podcasts on the through home speaker system. Actually, a podcast hosted by my current boss. And I turned it down. Turned the podcast off. Went to bed. Was having a nice night. Fully asleep. And then I heard a little voice in the middle of the night. I said, "Uh-oh, that wasn't there." So I started to creep out to the living room, and I got a little scared. And it was summertime in Michigan. Kate's house doesn't have AC, so I had an AC unit in my window.
And what did you do?
I karate chopped that thing out the window and hopped out of it. I hopped out the window, first floor, okay? Then I ran down the street to the wealthy, barefoot and shirtless. Looked great. I ran to the wealthy part of town. Was calling Cal. Cal picks up the phone. He's like, hello? Is it an emergency? I said, yes. Then I was like, don't worry though, I got the cops on it, they're coming. They came back, or I went back to the house, the cops walked through the house. Of course, actually Kyle entered this story. Then, Juliana's husband, him and I were going to shoot guns the following day, and so of course I had two ARs laid out on my bedroom floor, and the police walk in, they're like, oh, what's going on here? I was like, no, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. And it turned out the podcast had come back out, and it was just a podcast, but that's the story. Those are the voices, yes. Yeah, back to Caleb.
To sum things up, the thing that I love about Emerson is he is quite possibly the funniest person that I know. No one has brought me to tears laughing as much as Emerson. Maybe my friend Ethan as well over here. He is quite funny. But it is truly, Emerson, it is such an honor to be your sister. It was an honor to spend 3 years together